It's time for today's Lucky Land horoscope with Victoria Cash.
Life's gotten mundane, so shake up the daily routine and be adventurous with a trip to Lucky Land. You know what they say, your chance to win starts with a spin. So go to LuckyLandSlots.com to play over 100 social casino-style games for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Get lucky today at LuckyLandSlots.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
I almost didn't make it. I almost didn't last. Why does the week go by so slow, the weekend so fast? But luckily the days come to take my cares away. It's not Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. That's right. It's Friday, Friday. Tonight I'll party with my friends. Friday, Friday. Today I know the weekend. So I'll get out of bed and be to work on time. I'll give this day to the company, the next 2 days of mine. And when my day's over and the final work hour's passed, I'll go home, have a shot of Cuervo to the boss who can kiss my Friday, Friday. Tonight I'll party with my friends. Friday, Friday. Today I know the weekends. Friday, Friday.
Yeehaw! It's Friday, bitches. Enjoy yourselves. Long holiday weekend. Looking forward to it. Going to cool off as well.
Today even, it's going to cool off.
A little bit, yeah. It's only going to be about 80 in our area, but back into the mid-80s tomorrow, but then down into the mid-70s on Sunday and Monday. So, I like. We got a lot to get to this morning, including Three Ways with Shaw, Bad News, Happy Music, Friday edition, always a thumbs up. Doc will join us to talk racing. We're going to give you a list of things to look forward to in the month of September. Right around the corner, you know.
I do.
It's on Sunday.
I absolutely do know.
Yeah. And, of course, if you need anything, you can get in touch with us by visiting rockmornings.com. Getting a lot of text messages already. Got one from Chad, wants to hear some Pantera. Tom wants to hear some Slayer. Chuck wants to know more about the bus trips. It's just
good
mayhem on the text line right now.
Love hearing from you. It's great.
rockmornings.com for all of our contact info. We will get to Sum 41 and Scott Robert Shaw in just a bit.
More of your Rock Mornings coming up in just a bit.
Rock Mornings, Brian Gene Shaw in the newsroom. What a day.
It was. Rather busy.
Day. A lot going on. We had, of course, former President Donald Trump here in town in La Crosse at the La Crosse Center for a town hall. Moon Tunes got altered. The Viking ship got told to get the hell out of Dodge by the Secret Service. It was just crazy.
And then the rain came.
And then the nutso rain and weather. I didn't see any of it, but I heard it during the overnight. Lots of loud thunder. Plenty of videos of people putting on social media with the lightning and wind and stuff. I noticed that our swing, we've got a little swing with an umbrella top or whatever. That thing was knocked over this morning in my backyard, but I haven't seen if there's been any other damage back there in terms of tree limbs or whatnot. So
yeah, and I haven't seen any rain totals or damage reports yet either. I'm sure the National Weather Service is still compiling that, but I know it certainly came down very hard and for an extended period of time.
Yeah, very impactful in our area. So be on the lookout, especially if you're driving in from a county road or something. You might see a tree limb in the middle of the street that wasn't there yesterday. What's the latest, Shaw?
Well, when he first held a campaign rally at the La Crosse Center in 2016, Donald Trump was the primary candidate seeking the Republican Party nomination. Trump was back at the Civic Center yesterday as a former president, campaigning to return to the White House. An enthusiastic audience cheered on Trump during a question and answer session with moderator Tulsi Gabbard. Trump spoke about the debate performance that ruined Joe Biden's campaign and criticized Democrats for choosing Kamala Harris as the new candidate who had not run in the primaries. Trump described Harris and Biden as warmongers who might increase the possibility of a World War III. The rally drew a large audience to hear from former President Trump. Many members of the audience held signs with the number 47 because Trump would be the 47th president if he wins in November. The Trump visit to La Crosse came 4 months after his Democratic rival, Kamala Harris, spoke in the same building. In her role as a vice president, that was before she replaced Joe Biden as her party's nominee. During his town hall meeting, Trump complimented his own running mate, J.D. Vance, while taking a swipe at Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz. La Crosse Center Director Jay Odegaard estimated the crowd size for the Trump town hall at about 7,800 people. Before Donald Trump's arrival in La Crosse, a group of Democrats from the area gathered to promote their party's programs. A news conference at the La Crosse County Party headquarters featured U.S. Senator Tina Smith from Minnesota and Wisconsin's Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez. Smith says she hopes Democrats will hold the Senate majority after the election, which could help them pass laws to reduce the cost of health care. Rodriguez also commented on costs that are out of control for seniors. An inmate found dead at a maximum security prison in northeastern Wisconsin this week was strangled. Brown County Sheriff's deputies and medical personnel were called to the Green Bay Correctional Institution Tuesday night for a report of an inmate who wasn't breathing. They found 19-year-old Micah Loriano dead at the scene. An initial investigation determined that Loriano had been killed in his cell, and his 24-year-old cellmate was a suspect. An autopsy yesterday revealed that Loriano had been strangled. 2 people in eastern Wisconsin and 1 person in northeastern Illinois have died of West Nile virus.
Yeah, this is nuts.
Yeah, a 3rd person in Wisconsin has also been hospitalized because of the mosquito-borne illness. The state's cases involve residents of Outagamie, Fond du Lac, and Brown counties. In Lake County, Illinois, 3 people tested positive for the virus over the past week. One of the victims experienced symptom onset in mid-August and died shortly thereafter. West Nile virus is commonly spread through the bite of an infected mosquito. While most people don't experience symptoms, about 1 in 5 can develop a fever, headache, body aches, vomiting, diarrhea, or a rash.
Well, and did you hear about the listeria outbreak?
Yeah, the meat. More people are dying.
9 people now.
Is this the boar's head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're recalling a number of their products, obviously.
Not eating any of that.
No, thank you. Yeah.
I think I'll skip the deli sandwich today.
Biggest listeria outbreak in the United States since like 2011, I think.
Scary. 3-way with Shaw in the newsroom. Looked like there was a ton of people down there, as you mentioned, 7,800.
That was the estimate, yeah.
Whew. Man.
And some people were outside because they couldn't get in as well. So.
Yeah, I saw a lot of pictures and video, obviously, on social media yesterday. People lining up through the south end of Riverside Park and just kind of winding around down there. It was just like this sea of people at the La Crosse Center for Trump's visit. And then apparently the plane was trying to take off like right as the storms were getting started.
I bet. The timing would have been right about then.
Oof, scary.
I saw a picture of the crowd lining up to get in, and Gene, as you had pointed out, they had all those bike racks to make a makeshift corral kind of a thing to get people in there.
A snake.
Somebody posted, well, at least they're finally using the bike lanes.
Yeah, I shared that on Facebook.
Nice.
Classic. Stupid ass bike lane. What a waste.
I saw the street sweeper down here, so they're cleaning up and it's all over with. Everybody left. Is that the
no boy?
Show's over, folks.
For as quickly as or
as many people
for as much planning and preparation as these things seem to take, it kind of comes through like a wrecking ball, and then bam, it's out of town.
Yeah, he was only actually on stage for about 35 minutes in total. So
got it.
Where's he headed to next? Do you know?
Oh boy, I forget. He came here from Michigan. I know that. I forget where he's going next.
All right. Is she planning? I saw that Biden's coming to Wisconsin.
Is that right?
Next Thursday, southwestern Wisconsin. They haven't specified where, but it sounds like it will be a rural area.
Does he know he's coming yet? Anybody tell him?
Yeah, I don't know. Did anybody tell Donald Trump that it was a town hall meeting and not just a rally? He admitted on stage that he had no idea until he was on the plane to La Crosse that he was going to take part in a town hall meeting.
I bet that's hard to keep track of.
Dude, I'm sure
every day you're somewhere else doing something else.
Well, they gotta. Yeah, I mean, it's like concerts. When you're a band and you're in a new town every night.
Hello, Cleveland.
Well, you got to write the TM, the tour manager, or some grip or whatever. Somebody that's setting up the stage has to write it in big bold letters on the floor so they can get the town right at least.
Well, rinse and repeat and do it somewhere else.
More from Shaw coming up throughout the morning. We got 2 in a row now from Sum 41.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Bush, come down. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. You got the Brewers shutting out the Giants yesterday afternoon. 6-0.
Take that.
Brew Crew at Cincinnati
Giants.
today. A doubleheader today, by the way. First game is at 11:40.
I knew that.
And then the second game will obviously be after that. But doubleheader, 4 games against Cincinnati. Starting with a doubleheader today, 11:40 first pitch on that first game. Yeah. The Golden Gophers lost to North Carolina last night, 19-17 on a shanked field goal with time running out. Could have won the game, but wide right.
I always feel so bad when that happens.
It looked like it was right down the chute, and then all of a sudden, phew, it took a right-hand turn. Said, I got to go somewhere else. Deion Sanders' Colorado team beat North Dakota State to start their Second season under the new head coach, 31-26. Boy, that Turner kid is just unbelievable. Oof. Badgers, by the way, hosting Western Michigan tonight, 8 o'clock, FS1. Jump around. Get out your scene, jump around. Badgers also hiring longtime NFL coach Jack Del Rio to their staff. He will serve as a senior advisor to the head coach, Luke Fickell. Del Rio was a former Jaguars and Raiders head coach, most recently serving as the Commanders' defensive coordinator until he was fired in November. He'll work with both the offense and the defense at Wisconsin and assist the head coach, Luke Fickell. Brendan Ayuk and the Niners yesterday agreeing to terms on a 4-year, $120 million contract extension. It'll keep him with San Fran through the 2028 season. And speaking of money, of getting paid, one year. You ready for this?
I doubt it.
1 year, $62.6 million extension for Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. The agreement keeps him under contract with the Golden State Warriors through the 26-27 season. He will become the third NBA player, along with LeBron James and Kevin Durant, to pass $500 million in career earnings.
Well,
1 year, 62.
Some elite names there. That's an elite club you're in.
$1 million. I'll pull out my W-2s and see how many years I'd have to work to make 1 year of Steph Curry money.
That's a fun game to play.
Yeah.
That won't be depressing at all.
No, not like life doesn't kick in the nuts enough. Sports on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We've got the latest from Seether coming up in just a bit. Got a text from Rob who said he was driving home from work in the storm last night. A nightmare. Wasn't able to see more than a couple of inches ahead of me.
I talked to a young lady this morning at the coffee drive-thru, and she said she was getting home from dance last night, and the streets were completely flooded.
Oof.
And her car, and she was terrified. Young girl trying to drive through all that last night. Sounds like it was a mess.
Yeah, the thunder woke me up a couple of times, but I didn't get up and go look at it. But I did see, as I mentioned, we got a swing on the back porch there, and it's got like a little sunshade on top, and that thing must have acted as a sail and knocked it over. So I got to fix that when I get home, and I'll see if I got any branches down in the yard. I'm sure I got several, but hopefully nothing too big. That new stuff from Seether coming up next.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Oh, you know who you are. You've been doing your daily action, putting lots of overtime. You need some time off satisfaction. Just think how tough it's been. You've been putting out all that labor. If you use your wit, you can get out quick and do yourself a favor. Friday in effect, and you're pretty beat, I bet. It's been one tough week, you've hit your peak, and you've earned your paycheck. But now this week is over, and it's a little fun you're seeking. Your grin is wide, and I know why. Look out, here come the weekend. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That weekend's gonna be a monster, y'all.
Long-ass Labor Day holiday weekend, Shaw. Looking forward to it.
We all are.
Peacock today, the streaming premiere of The Fall Guy, that action thriller starring Ryan Gosling. The Goose, as a stuntman trying to help his ex save her movie that she's directing after the star goes missing. Over on Netflix today, The Deliverance, a horror film starring Andra Day as an alcoholic mother whose children become possessed.
Holy cow.
Apparently Glenn Close is in it, so it's got some
names and...
Well, Glenn Close and Monique, I don't,
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a trailer for it, but it's called The Deliverance. Has nothing to do with squealing like a piggy, Shaw.
That's good. We've seen that already.
Tonight on CBS, Let's Make a Deal, primetime.
These people, dressed as they are, come from all over the United States to make deals here in the marketplace of America. Let's make a deal. And now, here's America.
CBS tonight, Let's Make a Deal in primetime. On the CW tonight, Inside the NFL 2024 season preview. Regular season kicking off on Thursday. Ravens at the Chiefs, correct?
Sure.
Packers Eagles on Friday night in Brazil next week. Tomorrow night at 6:30 on ABC, the 19th season premiere of Saturday Night College Football. Texas A&M will host Notre Dame. Obviously, the Badgers are on tonight on FS1. That's 8 o'clock kickoff, I believe, at home against Western Michigan. Also tomorrow night on NBC, the second season premiere of Big Ten Saturday Night. That'll be Michigan hosting Fresno State. Monday on Netflix.
To be the greatest, It takes a hunger. You understand. On September 2nd, watch the greatest competitive eaters go head-to-head for the first time in 15 years. In a rematch where winner takes all. Chestnut versus Kobayashi, Unfinished Beef. Live only on Netflix.
Monday, Shaw, Netflix, hot dog eating rivals Joey Chestnut
the two go
and
at it again.
Takeru Kobayashi compete for the first time in, what was it, 15 years?
I believe it's been about that.
I guess there's been some scuttlebutt about the rules. They have agreed to them, but there's been some language that both of them have a problem with, I guess.
10-minute contest to see who can eat the most hot dogs and buns. Rule number 2, no dunking.
Ooh, big problem there.
Or pouring water on hot dogs or buns.
Big problem there for Chestnut. That's what he does, right? He dunks the bread in the...
I think all of them do.
Rule number 3, no separation of hot dogs from the buns. It must be eaten as a whole.
Oh,
Rule
man,
number
that's
4.
Weird. That's going to look weird, man.
Penalties may be issued for breaking of rules or regurgitation.
That one's nothing new. But.
30 seconds to finish what's left in their mouths at the end of the 10 minutes. Excess crumbs are weighed and deducted from scores if necessary.
They're real particular about
And then
this.
there's a tiebreaker rule, too.
Also on Monday on Fox, Name That Tune, followed by the 1% Club, and on FX on Monday night, the series premiere of The English Teacher. New music in stores today from AWOL Nation. 6th album called The Phantom 5. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, 18th album from them. Boy, they're prolific. It's called Wild God, and in theaters this weekend.
I don't know if you can, but can you get an owner?
1992, rated R. And yes, it's based on the riots in L.A. Tyrese Gibson wants to get his kid off the streets, hole up somewhere safe during the riots, so he takes him to the factory where he works, meanwhile, Ray Liotta and his son, played by Scott Eastwood, take advantage of the chaos to steal the platinum used to make catalytic converters at the very same factory. And as you can guess, things go bad, and Tyrese has to try to protect his son. Ray Liotta's final movie, by the way, before his death 2 years ago. I didn't even know this one was in the works. But yeah, it's called 1992, and it's rated R. I don't think I've even seen a trailer for this thing yet. Have you?
No.
No trailer?
I didn't know until you started talking about it.
But yeah, Ray Liotta, apparently his final movie before his death a couple of years ago in May of 2022. Also in theaters this weekend, rated PG-13. It's called Afraid. The A and the I, by the way, in Afraid are capitalized because it's a movie about AI. John Cho and Catherine Waterston star in a sci-fi horror film. Family selected to test out a new smart home device called AIA. But after the AI learns their behaviors and needs, it starts interfering in their lives with lethal results. How lethal can it be? It's only PG-13. And another PG-13 film in theaters this weekend. This one I think is limited. It's Reagan.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Like a documentary?
No, it's a historical drama about the life and career of our 40th president, as told from the perspective of a KGB spy who was assigned to track his entire political career. You got Dennis Quaid as Ronald Reagan, Penelope Ann Miller as Nancy Reagan, John Voight as the KGB narrator. Then you got Mena Suvari as Reagan's first wife, Kevin Dillon as the head of Warner Brothers Studio, and then this one, what a left-handed curve coming out of nowhere. Scott Stapp from Creed plays Frank Sinatra. Yeah. What?
Okay.
Where the hell did that come from?
Left field?
Yeah. Reagan, PG-13. In theaters this weekend. So there you go. That's what's on the boob tube and in theaters if you are looking for something to watch. I haven't seen a trailer for any of those movies. Reagan, 1992, or The Afraid. I think I might have seen The Afraid one, maybe.
And they don't sound familiar.
Well, the big one coming up, I mean, obviously, is Beetlejuice. That's next week, so that one is getting all the pub.
And all the press. I'm seeing tons
everywhere.
of interviews.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so
all about that.
These ones are just trying to squeeze in quickly between Deadpool and Wolverine and Beetlejuice and make a couple of bucks and get out of there. Three-way with Shaw in the newsroom. What else happening?
Well, heading into Donald Trump's event last night at the Lacrosse Center, some in the audience weren't sure what they were getting. A man named John Nichols drove 10 hours from Wichita to see Trump for the first time. A woman named Lauren Bergeron came from Dubuque, but didn't know that Trump was planning a town hall. All of them were still happy to see a former and perhaps future president, and none of them should feel bad because Donald Trump started the town hall last night feeling the exact same way. He admitted on stage at the La Crosse Center that he didn't know that he would be taking part in a town hall. He only learned that on the plane ride over, and said he wondered out loud what all the cameras were for and what network it was on.
Why are all these people here? Are they here to see me?
I get that. It's you do one thing.
I didn't realize I was
going to
have to answer questions.
Yeah, Trump ended up taking 4 questions from the audience. And
you over there with the blonde hair, and the large breasts. What's your question?
In all, the event lasted about 35 minutes from the time Trump took the stage until he left. Campaign staff said the event was cut short because of an incoming storm, and the rain came down very hard about an hour later.
La Crosse, love the town, beautiful river, right in the middle.
Don't ask questions.
No questions, please.
People started lining up early for the Trump rally. By 9 o'clock yesterday morning.
People are here early. They want to see the Trump. They love the Trump.
100 people in line. That was 6 hours before the doors opened, 10 hours before the event was scheduled to start. It ended up starting about an hour and 15 minutes late. Again, his part on stage lasted about 35 minutes. No other speakers took part in the event, even though there was more than an hour of downtime to fill. Next on the campaign trail, Joe Biden will be in Wisconsin, possibly in the rural parts of the 3rd Congressional District on Thursday of next week. And there are rumors, anyway, that Kamala Harris could be coming to the La Crosse Center.
She's
soon.
bad, very bad.
Nothing has been formally announced.
So bad.
That.
Joe doesn't even know where he is. Trump knows.
Tornadic winds knocked nearly 4 dozen train cars off a track in North Dakota.
Oh, no.
Part of a storm system that spurred reports of 5 tornadoes across the Dakotas. The train had been stopped due to a tornado warning Wednesday night near the town of Steele, North Dakota.
At a standstill, and the tornado still came through and said, nope.
The high winds caused 43 empty coal cars to derail. No one was hurt. No hazardous materials were in the cars. Cleanup crews at the site again yesterday. The National Weather Service confirmed a tornado touchdown in that area at that same time. And airports, highways, beaches, all expected to be packed for the long holiday weekend as a lot of Americans mark the unofficial end of summer, the same way they celebrated the season's unofficial start, by traveling. The Transportation Security Administration expects to screen more than 17 million people between yesterday and next Wednesday. That would be a record for the Labor Day weekend. Some good news for those going by car. To help travelers reach their destination over the Labor Day weekend, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation says it will temporarily pause its work on most highway construction projects around the state.
Today?
Yes, and throughout the weekend. But still, drivers are asked to pay attention, and they should expect slower traffic in work zones and along major travel routes. Peak travel times for the Labor Day weekend was between 1 and 7 yesterday, between 2 and 6 today, and between 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Monday when people return.
Three-way with Shaw in the newsroom. Just got a text from someone who said, I'm not convinced he even knew where he was. I don't think I heard him say La Crosse once.
No, I don't think he did say La Crosse.
Wow, and look, much like a band that goes town to town to town, night to night to night to night, he was in Michigan, then Wisconsin.
You can't keep all that straight. It's difficult.
It's a whirlwind. I'm sure someone wrote it down for him, and if he didn't look at it, then maybe he didn't know, but...
My original instinct was to pull out.
I definitely knew he was in Wisconsin, though. I listened to a lot of it, and he referenced, obviously, the lovely state that we live in a number of times.
Three-way with Shaw once again. More of those on the way. Also, bad news, happy music. Going to get to Doc's racing report. Doc texted in just a moment ago saying, did you see that Netflix has a documentary on Mr. McMahon? September 25th. Looks interesting. Yeah, Vince McMahon.
Yeah,
it's like
I bet
the puppeteer.
Very interesting.
I saw it yesterday, so yeah, I'm sure it'll be must-see TV. Right now, it's 3 doors down.
Rock mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
3 Doors Down with Loser on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene.
No chance, so that's what you got.
As Doc mentioned in his text message just a few moments ago, the docu-series about Vince McMahon set to drop on Netflix on September 25th. It's called Mr. McMahon. 6 episodes, each of them about an hour long, apparently 200 hours of interviews with all sorts of different people, chronicling the rise and fall of former WWE boss Vince McMahon. Netflix calls it an unflinching, no-holds-barred look at one of the most enigmatic figures in sports entertainment. It'll follow McMahon from his transformation of the WWE from a small regional business into the global sensation that it is now, and then, of course, the sexual misconduct allegations that led to his eventual resignation. The woman, by the way, who filed the lawsuit, former WWE staffer Janelle Grant, apparently not interviewed for this docuseries. They released a statement saying, quote, neither Janelle nor her representatives were interviewed for this project. But again, September 25th, that'll be on Netflix, 6 one-hour-long episodes. And I guess there was some hesitation to put this thing out there because of their new 10-year, $5 billion plus deal to broadcast Monday Night Raw. But it's coming out. Thank you very much, Doc. We'll talk to you a bit later on this morning. Music in a bit from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you want to get in touch with us, find us online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9.
Chili Peppers give it away, Rock Mornings, Brian and Gene. She wasn't giving it away. It got stolen. It was her money from her lemonade stand.
Oh, no.
Dick move. Apparently somebody came up, was acting all friendly and nice, and when the attention was turned elsewhere to try to get this lemonade set up, boom, the thief made off with all the money.
I thought we were about to get another customer because he was acting all nice. I was in the middle of pouring him the lemonade, and I was about halfway through. He stole the money while I wasn't looking.
It's kind of like taking their innocence. I had to work through that and teach them about forgiving the guy, too.
We had 78 motorcyclists and 30 bicyclists all come, along with a lot of other folks. We heard there's a whole other group of motorcycles coming from Newport News on their way. We're excited to see them, along with police and fire, and most of the city council, I think, has been out.
So this is in Chesapeake, Virginia, and some jagoff robbed a kid's lemonade stand earlier this month and ran off with the money, about $40 worth. But then news got out, and a bunch of bikers,
I love bikers,
stepped up to help out. Dozens of big burly guys wearing their leather on their motorcycles showed up to the lemonade stand the following weekend, along with all sorts of other people from the community. In one day, they bought...
Tell me.
Go ahead and give a guess. How much do you think?
Wow. You're selling it for very little, so I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm guessing...
One day, Gene. We're not talking about an entire weekend. We're talking about one single day after they heard the news about this lowlife running off with $40 from the stand. How much do you think they sold in the one day after everybody found out and showed out?
$1,200? Is that low? $1,500? $2,500? Okay, I don't know. $800, $700. Not giving me any clues. Am I warmer or colder?
$6,200.
Shut up.
$6,200.
Shut up.
$6,200. Rebecca Caldwell and her brother Joshua putting on the lemonade stand in their driveway. Mom went inside. Surveillance video shows a man pulling up in a car, approaching the kids, and then grabbing their jar of money, getting back in his vehicle and taking off, about $40. Man, you got to be real scumbag, low-life, desperate piece of...
Desperate.
I don't care. There's no call for that. You're a scumbag.
I know, but
Hit you on the head with a baseball bat. That's what you need. Scramble your brains for you.
Well,
Back in their driveway the following
everything worked
Saturday, though, and word had gotten out. Firefighters, police, EMS, even members of a couple of motorcycle groups rolling up to their house to buy some lemonade.
We're out of lemonade.
$200
We're out of
worth.
lemonade.
Yeah. Rebecca and Josh's parents estimate that more than 600 people came out to help support them the following week, and $6,200. Police
Amazing.
continuing the investigation into the
Amazing.
original theft. So far, no suspect has been
Put that
identified.
in your
but-
college fund, kiddos.
Wow. Maybe a PS5, and then the rest
And then
of
the
it.
rest of it into the college fund, kiddos.
Yeah. Let him do something a little fun with it. Scumbag. $40.
Totally.
Ugh. I hate people. Three-Way with Shaw is coming up in just a bit. We're going to talk a bit about Labor Day, which is, of course, right around the corner. Some stats
Monday.
and info and some travel information as well, so stick around for that.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
I am awake.
Hey, it's Friday.
A 3-day weekend.
3-day weekend.
Labor Day weekend is here.
Labor Day weekend.
There's bound to be traffic, because it's Labor Day weekend and everything.
Labor Day is Labor Day.
Labor Day weekend.
Grilling.
I'm just waiting for a hot dog.
Summer is officially over.
We're going to take a little family vacation of our own.
Happy Labor Day.
It's showtime.
All right, well, summer is not officially over. It's got a couple more weeks left, but obviously Labor Day tends to be the time when everybody says, that's it. Kids are back in school, football's underway, and I got to shut her down. Taking the boat out, bringing the camper wherever it goes, all that stuff. According to some Labor Day stats, Shaw, 818 hot dogs were eaten every second from Memorial Day to Labor Day this year in America.
Just in the U.S., okay.
Which means we have 212 million hot dogs left to eat over the next 3 days to fulfill our quota.
Better get busy.
Buckle
Some
up, Shaw.
other interesting Labor Day stats. According to some recent surveys and polls, 67% of Americans celebrate Labor Day. I guess the other 33% have to work. Is that the deal?
Yeah, probably.
63% of people plan to barbecue sometime over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You got something for the grill, Shaw?
Yeah, I'm going to do some barbecue chicken, I think. Some potato salad, deviled eggs.
Ooh.
I got 48 hours to get through, and then I can think about the rest of the weekend.
I got to see if the in-laws are up for a little grill out. Got to find out. Roughly 168 million Americans 16 and older are in the labor force. National unemployment rate, 4.3% in July, which was down significantly from 9.5% 15 years ago. The unemployment rate peaked at 14.7% during the pandemic in April of 2020. And according to a recent poll, D.C., the hardest working city. Really? At an average of 8.1 work hours per day. National average isn't that far off at 7.9. The city of Burlington, Vermont, however, is the laziest, where people only work an average of 6.6 hours in a day.
Hey, Vermont, here I come.
Right.
Yeah, what's up with Vermont?
I don't know, but I'm going.
Sounds lovely.
Doesn't it?
This is crazy. 78% of Americans, almost 80% of us, Shaw, left vacation days unused in 2023.
80%, is that what you said?
Yeah, I was just having a conversation last night with someone about PTO and all this other stuff, and I was like, look, man, it's yours. You earned it, and it's not your fault that they're understaffed. Tell them to go F themselves. It's my vacation time. I earned it. I work here full time. I do my... Almost 80% of Americans
That's
left
too
vacation
much.
days
Too
unused.
Too much percentage.
Nearly 2 out of every 3 Americans say inflation is affecting their Labor Day plan. Yeah. We're going with the cheap hot dogs, and we're hoping for the best here.
Exactly.
What is it the Boar said? We're getting some of them Boar said hot dogs.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. And 67% of people believe they're working harder this year than last year. I think that's every year, right? Every year you feel like this year is worse than last year. Also, travel's going to be a mess. You were talking about that earlier, Shaw.
Mm-hmm. Record number of travelers, they're saying, by car and air.
Mm-hmm. Today is the worst day to travel, by the way, if you're trying to get somewhere, which is the day that everybody's trying to get somewhere. I can guarantee whether you're taking...
Not necessarily. If you've got to finish work and get out and you want to go home and then, maybe get
tomorrow,
a good night's sleep and hit the road early.
Apparently.
Yeah, if you get an early start, you're better off. Between 2 and 6 today, expected to be the busiest times on the roads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously people maybe cashing out a little bit early at work, taking some of that PTO and leaving a few minutes early, getting on the road. You're not going anywhere, are you, Shaw?
Nope, stay in town.
Yeah, same here. You're not. You got people in town, right, Gene?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
All right. Three-way with Shaw. What else happening?
Well, nearly 8,000 people gathered at the La Crosse Center yesterday to hear from former President Donald Trump as he conducted a town hall campaign event. Former member of Congress Tulsi Gabbard led the hour-long program, which covered topics from immigration and terrorism to climate change and the political positions of his opponents, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Trump called Democratic nominee Harris a communist and a Marxist.
She really is, and this country is not ready for a Marxist. We don't want a Marxist as a president, and she destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California. And we're not going to let it destroy our country. I'll tell you, it's not going to happen.
People attending the Trump rally lined up outside the La Crosse Center several hours before the early evening program began. Trump arrived at the center about an hour after the scheduled 6 p.m. start of the town hall. Still no complaints from those we talked to after the town hall meeting was over. Trump was about an hour and 15 minutes late to take the stage. He spoke for about 35 minutes and took a total of 4 questions. About 7,800 people came, which was slightly over capacity for the La Crosse Center. Holman native Jeff Pataska loved the atmosphere, despite being among those who did get in but didn't get a seat.
It was pretty crazy. I mean, I didn't have a seat. They had seats for you, but I never get to one, so I had to stand there.
Leslie Andrade drove in from Mindoro and loved every minute of it.
It was quick. It was short. We would have all liked to had it be a little bit longer, but, we take him whenever we can get him.
Next, Joe Biden will be in Wisconsin, possibly in the rural parts of the 3rd Congressional District of southwestern Wisconsin on Thursday of next week.
By the way, we're still getting questions. I'm assuming we haven't gotten the info about the payment.
No, I have not.
Dean and Paul both texting in about paying for his visits. Is there a reason why we haven't gotten that information? Because you said it's from the police department, right? It's their bill. It's not the city's bill.
That's who we've requested the information from. They did get back to us and said they were working on compiling that information, but we've not received it as of yet.
So just for those of you that are wondering, the questions have been asked. Apparently there's a delay in getting the response. But yeah, people obviously still want to know if he paid not only for the last time, but for this time.
And what it does cost. I mean, because to rent out the La Crosse Center is not an inexpensive proposition, right? Then there's all of that added security cost. I mean, I think every police officer in town was on duty yesterday. So, yes. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris yesterday defended shifting away from some of her more liberal positions in her first major television interview of her presidential campaign. But she insisted her values have not changed, even as she is seeking consensus. Sitting with her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Harris was asked about changes in her policy over the years, especially her reversals on fracking and decriminalizing illegal border crossings. The CNN interview comes as voters are still trying to learn more about the Democratic ticket under an unusually compressed time frame. And that special performance of Moon Tunes that was scheduled yesterday was not able to go on. It was designed for guests on the Viking cruise ship, which was docked along the river in Riverside Park. But Moon Tunes says the Secret Service ordered the Viking ship to leave earlier than planned. It was scheduled to depart at 5 p.m. The town hall was going on at about that same time, so for security reasons, they asked that the ship leave its docking position at the Riverside Park, and it did. Away they went. So never got to see that special performance on Moon Tunes yesterday afternoon.
How many buses did you say were there?
There had like 25, 30.
And they were for the cruise ship people?
Yes.
They all had the Viking logo on them, right?
Wow.
Correct.
Yeah, I can't imagine why there would be that many buses there, but...
Three-way with Shaw in the newsroom.
Well,
Next time, go ahead.
Sorry, math. How much do those cruise ships hold? And then you're talking about 50 on each bus, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing.
But not all of them depart at every location that they stop in, so.
I thought there was 2 of them, too. Two boats coming, yeah.
Next time we talk to Shaw, we'll give you a list of things to look forward to in the month of September, which is obviously coming up later on this weekend. Right now, it's Wage War.
Rock Mornings on 95.7 The Rock.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. That is Soundgarden with Burden in My Hands. NASCAR playoff schedule going to look a bit different next season. Championship race staying at Phoenix for yet another season, but New Hampshire and Gateway are now playoff tracks, while Talladega will host a third-round race in the Cup Series playoffs. NASCAR unveiling its 2025 schedule for all 3 of its series yesterday. Watkins Glen and Homestead hosting playoff races this year, but they're out for next year. The Glen moving back to its traditional August date, and Homestead, the site of the title race before Phoenix, will host an early season race in March. The inaugural Mexico City race will be preceded by a date at Michigan. That race has been held in August in recent years and plagued by rain, so they're trying to switch things up a little bit, hopefully avoid some of that weather. The race earlier this month was delayed to a Monday start, and the first in-season tournament in NASCAR will start on June 28th at Atlanta and conclude at Indy on July 27th. Races in between are at Chicago, Sonoma, and Dover. So we'll talk more racing, obviously, in a few minutes when we join, or when Doc joins us at about 8:25. But NASCAR full schedule for next season is out, and it looks like there's going to be some pretty big changes, including that in-season tournament, a race outside of the country, and some switches for the playoff scenarios.
There's a lot of movement there. Did you say 3 races at Talladega, or didn't I understand that right? I guess maybe I didn't.
Playoff tracks. Talladega will host a third-round race in the Cup Series playoffs. So,
got it, understood.
Yeah, so obviously there's different rounds and eliminations and all that stuff. But we'll get more racing input from Doc at about 8:25. And just absolutely horrific, tragic news came across the wire a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, no, what?
This is awful, and I didn't know all the details until just a minute ago when I read the story, but Columbus Blue Jackets confirming in a statement that all-star forward Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew have died. The brothers were apparently riding bicycles on a rural New Jersey road Thursday night last night when they were struck and killed by a passing car at about 8:30 at night. Johnny Gaudreau is 31, Matthew 29.
Oh, my God.
Here's where it gets bad. Not that their deaths aren't bad enough, but they were apparently at home in New Jersey for their sister's wedding, which is tonight. Can you effing imagine?
Oh, my God.
At home, you're an NHL star, you're on the road,
you're home, you're going out for a little bike ride, summer night.
Right. Unbelievable tragedy in the NHL. Both brothers, by the way, played a college hockey at Boston College. Johnny was there from 2011 to 2014. His brother Matthew, 2013 to 17. Johnny earned the nickname Johnny Hockey during his time at BC. He helped the Eagles win a national championship in 2012, won the Hobey Baker Award as the top player in the nation in 2014. He was a stellar hockey player. Johnny went on to play 10 full seasons in the NHL, 8 with the Calgary Flames and the last 2 with the Blue Jackets. He was an all-star back in 2021-22 when he posted a career-high 115 points with the Flames. Leaves behind his wife Meredith, his 2 young children, a daughter Noah, and a son Johnny.
Who are all probably at this poor family.
The whole, just horrific. And I'm sure they were groomsmen or involved, and not that makes any difference. But
they have wives and children.
Matthew Gaudreau played minor league hockey for 5 years after college, spending some time in the ECHL with the Worcester Railers. Blue Jackets releasing the following statement saying, the Columbus Blue Jackets shocked and devastated by this unimaginable tragedy. Johnny was not only a great hockey player, but more significantly, a loving husband, father, son, brother, and friend. We extend our heartfelt sympathies to his wife, Meredith, his children, Noah and Johnny, his parents, the family and friends on the sudden loss of Johnny and Matt.
They are survived by their father, Guy, their mother, Jane, and their 2 sisters, Kristen and Katie. The latter, Katie, of whom had her wedding scheduled for today.
Just got a text from Mike who said Johnny played in Dubuque for juniors, won a championship in Dubuque as well. Just a awful, horrific. I'm assuming NHL will put patches on jerseys throughout the season. Just came across the wire. Just absolutely horrific news out of the world of hockey. At home in New Jersey with the family, sister's wedding tomorrow or tonight. They're out for a little brotherly bike ride, and oh God, that is a real downer. Blackstone Cherry in a couple of minutes, and we'll try to turn things around a little bit, get to some things you should look forward to in the month of September. We'll do that next.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
September.
As we get ready to turn the page on the calendar to another month, it's time to take a look ahead, Shaw.
Okay.
Some of the stuff to look forward to in the month of September. It gets started on Sunday. Crazy. In the theaters in the month of September, the big one is...
It's showtime.
Beetlejuice, rated PG-13. That'll be next Friday. After a family tragedy, the 3 generations of the Dietz family return home to Winter River. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life is then turned upside down when her teenage daughter accidentally opens up the portal to the afterlife. No Alec Baldwin, no Gina Davis in this one, apparently. They explain in the movie how they make it out of the realm. The following Friday, Transformers 1, rated PG. This is the origin story of Optimus Prime and Megatron. Now, we've known they existed. They're the central characters for years and years and years.
But how did it come to be?
How did they become who they are? That's what this is. Animated film, obviously. Also on Friday the 13th, Speak No Evil, rated R. This is the James McAvoy, the people traveling in the rural part of the country, and they stop over for a little dinner, and then they find out the family's creepy and weird and trying to kill them.
Okay.
Speak No Evil?
Speak No
James
Evil.
McAvoy goes crazy?
Yes, now I know.
Everything seems okay until the kid's like, there's something wrong with that guy.
Yes, now, yes. Oh, in the mouth and the thing. Yes, now I know. Nope.
Your girl, Megan Fox, is also going to be in theaters on the 13th, Friday the 13th, in a movie called Subservience. This is Stepford Wives, robot serial killer wife thing. It's rated R. A struggling father purchases a domestic sim to help care for his house and his family.
Sounds bad.
Unaware, she will gain awareness and then turn deadly.
Yeah.
On the 20th, The Substance, rated R. Fading celebrity decides to use a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. Dennis Quaid's in that one. You got Demi Moore as well, apparently. We'll see. What else? TV shows in the month of September. Thursday the 12th, The Old Man, Season 2 premiere on FX. That's Jeff Daniels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Old Man. Not Jeff Daniels. Jeff Bridges. There we go. The dude, Shaw, your guy.
The dude.
He's old and he says stuff like this. Sunday the 14th, Tulsa King Season 2 premiere on Paramount Plus. On the 17th, that's a Tuesday, Dancing with the Stars Season 33 on ABC. That's the one with the pommel horse guy, right?
Yes.
Netta Rosick?
Something like that.
I don't know who the other celebrities are, but... also on the 17th, American Sports Story, Aaron Hernandez, the series premiere of that on FX. The Golden Bachelorette, series premiere of that on ABC on the 18th. So this time around, it's a girl fighting off dudes as opposed to a dude fighting off girls. Is that the way it goes? Survivor, season 47 premiere on the same night on CBS. Yeah, 47 of those, Shaw. Thursday the 19th, you got season 2 of Frasier on Paramount Plus. Also on the 19th, the Batman spinoff, the Robert Pattinson Batman movie that just came out like a couple of years ago.
Okay.
It's a spinoff called The Penguin, and it's on HBO, and it's got Colin Farrell as the Penguin. So that'll be pretty good. Also on the 19th, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story on Netflix.
Again?
Well,
do you know how many of those there are?
People love them, man. They're chewing them up. They're spitting them out. On Monday the 23rd, The Voice Season 26 premiere on NBC. The 24th, you've got America's Got Talent Season 19 premiere on NBC. Also, the Chicago movie TV series, Med, Fire, and PD, they all premiere on NBC on the 25th. Also, that Netflix Mr. McMahon series premieres on the 25th, Shaw. I don't know if you heard about that, but it's a series about Vince McMahon, WWE.
The wrestling guy? Okay.
Yeah. 26, 911, Season 8 premiere on ABC. Grey's Anatomy, also on the 26th, Season 21 premiere on ABC. And then on the 29th of September, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol, Season 2 premiere on AMC. Sports, of course, you've got the NFL season kicking off with Baltimore at Kansas City on Thursday of next week. The U.S. Open wraps up on the 8th. Bunch of NASCAR races. You've got UFC 306 on the 14th. NHL preseason begins on the 21st. Also, Major League Baseball regular season finale on the 29th. And then we head into the playoffs. Now, the important stuff, Shaw, the holidays.
Okay.
Sunday is Ginger Cat Appreciation Day.
You have one. That's why you brought this up.
I do. A lot of people do. Mr. Cricket. Labor Day, of course, on Monday. Thursday the 5th, National Cheese Pizza Day. That would go well with some NFL action, right? A cheese pizza?
Sure.
National Chench Day on the 6th.
Oh, yum.
Chianti. Not Chench. Thank you, An.
Mm-hmm.
International Bacon Day is on the 7th. The 7th is also National Beer Lovers Day. Gene, this is for you on the 9th, Monday the 9th, International Box Wine Day. What pairs well with a Monday in September? International Box Wine.
I don't know about that.
Stand Up to Cancer Day is on the 13th. On the 15th, it's National Linguini Day. It's also Wife Appreciation Day on the 15th.
So make her some linguine.
Start leaving some hints around the house. National Cheeseburger Day on the 18th. Talk Like a Pirate Day on the 19th. Yar.
It's fun, Shaw. It's
Shaw,
fun.
talk like a pirate.
There you go.
On the 20th, it's National POWMIA Recognition Day. Fall starts on the 22nd. Yep. Redhead Appreciation Day is on the 23rd, Shaw.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
National Lobster Day, One Hit Wonder Day, and Quesadilla Day are all on the 25th. Chimichanga Day is on the 26th, and then you've got Gold Star, Mother's and Father's Day on the 29th. The 29th is also VFW Day and Coffee Day. And there you go. Some stuff to look forward to in the month of September. Yar, mate. Shiver me timber.
Personally, there'll be a bunch of walks that will be. They're stepping out in pink. There's the walk. There's the walk for Alzheimer's, and that's around the state and wherever you can find those to participate in. And there's high school homecomings, Shaw. There's
'Tis the season, yeah.
the UW Eau Claire football seasons get underway. And then there's Oktoberfest here in La Crosse.
What?
So, what? Have you heard of it?
Never heard of
No.
it.
Okay. It's a big month. It's a big month.
Yeah, it is.
Starts on Sunday. Can't wait. What else happening, Shaw?
Well, when he first held a campaign rally at the La Crosse Center in 2016, Donald Trump was a primary candidate seeking the Republican Party nomination. Trump was back at the Civic Center yesterday as a former president campaigning to return to the White House. An enthusiastic audience cheered on Trump during his question and answer session with moderator Tulsi Gabbard. Trump spoke about the debate performance that ruined Joe Biden's campaign and criticized Democrats for choosing Kamala Harris as the new candidate who had not run in the primaries.
But they picked a woman that had absolutely no votes. She got no votes. And now she's running. So when you say threat to democracy, they are a threat to democracy. I'm not a threat to democracy.
Democracy?
I'm not a threat. Thank you.
Did he say democracy?
I think he did.
The first time around?
It sounded like it. Trump described Harris and Biden as warmongers, who he says might increase the possibility of a World War III. The first person in line for Donald Trump's town hall yesterday was a woman from Toma. Stella Guy told us she set up outside the La Crosse Center at 4:45 p.m. on Wednesday, about 21 hours before the doors opened for that event.
Straight in line. Got my chairs and we camped out all night.
Trump was about an hour and 15 minutes late. The town hall format saw him take 4 questions in total. His part on stage lasted only about 35 minutes. His supporters, though, were fine with that, including Leslie Andre, who drove in from Mindoro.
I think everybody wanted more, sure. But, you know, he's got other places to be, so...
No other speakers took part in the event, even though there was more than an hour of downtime to fill while they waited for the former president to arrive. Next, Joe Biden will be in Wisconsin, possibly in the rural parts of the 3rd Congressional District of southwestern Wisconsin next week. And Kamala Harris could be coming to the La Crosse Center soon, we've been told, although nothing has been formally announced.
Some really cool pictures from last night, though, surfacing all over social media from people that were there. It looks like it was quite the event.
Yeah, full house for sure. 7,800 they estimated. Yeah. A Boar's Head deli meat plant.
Don't eat it.
In Virginia, tied to a deadly food poisoning outbreak, repeatedly violated federal regulations, including instances of mold, insects, liquid dripping from ceilings, and meat and fat residue on walls, floors, and equipment.
Dude.
Yeah. Government inspectors logged 69 instances of non-compliance with federal
How
rules
many do you
over
get
the past year.
before they shut you down?
Including several in recent weeks. The U.S. Agriculture Department says in a statement the plant will remain closed until the establishment is able to demonstrate it can produce safe products. The plant has been linked to the deaths of at least 9 people and the hospitalizations of about 50 others in 18 states. All were sickened with listeria after eating Boar's Head deli meats.
I understand accidents, but habitually being... against regulations, doesn't that put them like at fault or
yes,
liable
there could be
for any of
fines
this?
issued for sure. Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah. Doesn't make me hungry for a deli sandwich.
Doc just texted in and said, National Wife Appreciation Day and National Redhead Appreciation Day, a few days apart. I'm screwed.
Yeah, it's a big week for you, Doc. Don't mess up.
That's right.
Start buying cards now.
You about ready to do some kissing? Three-way with Shaw. We'll get back to him in just a bit for another one. Plus bad news, happy music. And speaking of Doc, he'll join us at about 8:25 to talk NASCAR. Right now, it's Jet.
Rock Mornings on your rock station.
Jet, are you going to be my girl? Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find us online at rockmornings.com. That's the website where you can listen to the show live. You can also check out our daily podcast, find all our contact info if you want to shoot us a text or an email. Let us know what you're up to. Just not too many, okay? Doc, you're starting to reach that point here. It's like 3 or 4 text messages already this morning.
It was the wife appreciation and Ginger appreciation. She's got both in 1 week. So
he also texted about the Mr. McMahon thing. And we're going to talk to him on the phone in about a half hour. It's like, that's a lot of Doc.
It's never too much.
It's pushing it. It's pushing it. Also, thanks to Mike, who texted in about Johnny Gaudreau, who played in Dubuque for the juniors, won the championship in Dubuque. He and his brother Matthew sadly, tragically killed last night in a accident in New Jersey.
I kind of was trying to find more about that.
Hit and killed by a passing car, apparently.
Yeah, they were riding on the side of the road on bicycles, and both of them hit and killed by a driver of a vehicle while they were home visiting for their sister's wedding.
Which is supposed to be tonight, and I'm assuming that families will be like, no,
geez.
Put that on hold.
That is, no.
Also got a text from Kyle.
What'd Kyle say?
Your guy, Kyle. He
Kyle?
said, Happy Friday, Brian. Did you hear me yelling your name yesterday at Quick Trip? I said, I heard somebody yell. I couldn't see who it was. He said, did you leave your glasses in the office? I don't need them for outside the office. I only need them in the studio for all the computer screens. I got out of the truck and said, hey, Samson! I was, all right. Hey, guy in the yellow shirt.
Kyle. It was Kyle.
Fueling up your dump truck. I saw you. I can't. I don't know who the hell you were.
Thanks, Kyle.
I can't know everybody. See you there in a couple minutes. Thank you very much for the correspondence. Find us online at rockmornings.com.
More of your Rock Mornings coming up in just a bit.
Seether with Fine again. Good dudes that were in town back in May with Skillet. And we got one more left in just a couple of weeks.
We sure do.
Highly Suspect with Des Rocks and Dead Poet Society at Copeland Park and Event Center. Third and final act in the 2024 Ultra Rock Summer Concert Series.
Also a Saturday night.
Tickets and info at CopelandEvents.com. Cameron Diaz is 52.
Is that a hair gel?
Nope. Not hair gel.
It's something about you, Mary.
The lead singer and guitarist for Rancid, Lars Fredriksson, is 53.
That's funny because they were just in Milwaukee playing with Green Day last weekend.
Michael Chiklis, 61, played Detective Vic Mackey on The Shield. He was the Thing in the Fantastic Four films from, early 2000s. Lewis Black, 76.
I love Wisconsin. I love coming here. I perform here a lot because I've discovered that you people apparently have some sort of federal grant for drinking. You're insane. You pay less for liquor than anybody I know anywhere in the country. Nobody pays less for liquor than you. How? I don't know if you're using that farm subsidy money or if you're just hijacking liquor trucks, but this is insane. Is it volume? It's unbelievable. It's staggering. I come here because basically if I spend 4 days here drinking, and even with the plane ticket, it's cheaper than drinking in New York. How do you know when it's New Year's?
That's when we drink with hats on.
Funny hats.
That's the big mystery to me. What's the difference? I've been in bars here, and it's like New Year's every night. Oh, New Year's, that's when we drink with hats on.
Classic bit from Lewis Black, who is 76 years old today, talking about drinking in Wisconsin. Ben Jones, 83, played Cooter on the Dukes of Hazzard, went on to serve in the U.S. House of Representatives from 89 to 93. Also, 94 today, Warren Buffett, the sixth richest person in the world. His net worth is $147.2 billion. Elon Musk still number one, even with all these problems with his satellites and his Cybertrucks. 239. That's what he's got.
Unbelievable, huh?
Bezos number 3, 191. Yeah. Please, sir, may I have another? I'm just trying to pay my effing mortgage, man. 57 years ago today, 1967, the Senate confirmed Thurgood Marshall as the first African-American justice on the Supreme Court. Chadwick Boseman played him in the movie Marshall back in 2017. 1972, Last House on the Left in theaters. 1987, the very first Street Fighter video game released. Round 1, fight.
Right?
Hell yeah. No?
I know.
Not a big fan of Street Fighter?
Final round, fight.
36 years ago today, 1988, Danzig releasing their self-titled debut album featuring their smash hit, Mother. You might have heard us play it too many goddamn times.
This is a good song.
It's okay, but can we just chill with the Mother for a few minutes?
They were the ones that had issues with the sharing the space
Danzig,
in the facility with other people's gear, wasn't
No,
that?
that's Dokken.
Oh, that was Doc.
You're getting your D-bands
Yeah, I did
mixed
get
up.
my D-bands. They didn't like their equipment shared.
Dokken got mad because Monkey Wrench's bags were in the same room as their stuff. They got very upset. It was mostly Don Dokken. He was very dickish about the whole.
We have the floor.
Why is he opening band's bags in the same room as me? Let's see. 1991, Child's Play 3 in theaters. Chucky killing everybody. 2003, Death Wish superstar Charles Bronson died of pneumonia at the age of 81. And in 2015, Nightmare on Elm Street director Wes Craven died of cancer. He was 76 at the time. Cancer. Also did the first Scream film. Mm-hmm. Bunch of others, obviously, but and there you go. Some birthdays and stuff that happened on August 30th. We'll get back to Shaw in just a couple minutes. Got bad news, happy music coming up, and Doc will join us to talk racing at about 8:25. Stick around.
Rock Mornings. On air, online, on the app.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It's not like anything I've ever tasted. If I'm being honest, I'd rather drink this than Barefoot or Yellowtail. I drink that on the rocks. The more I'm drinking it, the more I like it. It's kind of what it's giving, is like almost a sangria vibe, because you added this fruit juice, for lack of a better word, to wine. So it's this kind of wine cocktail vibe.
GatorWine. Have you tried it?
No, Sean.
Have you heard about it?
I've heard about it. I have no interest in trying it.
All right, well, today is International Cabernet Sauvignon Day. It's also National Beach Day and Slinky Day, but it is not National GatorWine Day, which is apparently just wine and Gatorade.
It's equal parts light blue Glacier Freeze Gatorade.
That's the good stuff. I like that one.
And any cheap red wine.
Yeah, because why would you put good wine in there?
You wouldn't put good wine in there.
And it's like a wine spritzer? Wine cocktail?
Yeah, I guess, like a sangria, fruitiness to it.
Gator wine.
Gator don't play no shit.
Like a cheap bottle of maybe Barefoot Pinot Noir. Tastes like fruit, Shaw.
Well, as you heard the guy there, he said he'd rather have that than Barefoot. What is the
Barefoot.
Barefoot.
Barefoot. Is that a wine?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Is it a cheap crap?
Yes.
Bottom shelf wine.
Oh, okay. Or one of the box. What is it? Franzia? Get one of them jugs that I get for what are the Julio and Gallo or whatever.
I'm supposed to spit it out. But no way, Jose. Am I spitting this stuff out? It tastes like fruit.
No, I'm not doing it. I appreciate
You always
that.
seem very adventurous when it comes to drinks.
I am, but why would I do that? I mean, I would just drink if I.
It's sort of like, doing the energy drink thing, right? You're getting a little bit of liquid, right? Some water.
Like a Red Bull and vodka? Is that what you're talking about?
Like you're getting hydration with the Gatorade, right? You're getting electrolytes and all that stuff.
But alcohol is a dehydration.
Well, yeah, but
then
it
I'll
balances.
just keep them separate. I'll just take some. I'll drink my glass of
But why
wine
would
and then I'll
you don't
drink
have
some
to have two separate
Gatorade.
guys. Just mix it all. It's all going the same place at the same time. It's like people who mash all their foods up on their plate, Shaw, and just eat it all in a big goulash.
No, thanks.
That's not a you thing? GatorWine.
Gatorade not only quenches your thirst better, it tastes better too, idiot.
You're drinking the wrong water.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Gatorade.
No? Maybe? Labor Day weekend, give it a little shot?
Yeah, I guess I'm all out of Gatorade.
I could bring some over your house. I know where you live.
I got the wine part, just no Gatorade.
I don't have the wine part.
There's all kinds of other wines. Peanut Nor.
GatorWine.
Take your peanut Nor and you shove some Gatorade in that.
What about a white wine? Can you do a white wine in the blue ice? Does it have to be the blue ice one?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Go out, blaze a new trail.
There's about 1,000 different Gatorade flavors.
There are.
Right? Don't they have powdered Gatorade, too? You can make the drink?
I'm interested in none of this. Look at my face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it with Liquid IV. I'm not taking any of that. I'm not taking Prime and mixing it in there. None of those.
You became a manager in this place, and your fun level just went right down through the basement. You're like in the sewer with the fun level. I remember a Jean who used to pee in parking lots and front yards of people's businesses. Now she won't even mix Gatorade and wine.
Why would
that's
I
how
do
far.
that?
That's how far we've strayed from God.
I do have the Liquid IV in my house, Shaw, but I'm not putting it in my wine.
It's just Gatorade.
Gator don't play no shit.
Little Gatorade. Just try it once, and then you can say, all right, I tried it, I didn't like it, I was right.
All right, I'll pour a little
It's
bit
cheap
of
wine anyways. What are you
and I'll
missing
pour a
out?
little bit
$2
of Gatorade.
chuck. You're missing 20
I'm not buying
cents.
that either, probably, huh?
Whatever. Pooping on everybody else's parade over here.
But do have fun on your Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
And be safe and responsible and all
Yes,
that
please.
stuff. And drink some GatorWine.
And the weather's going to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, man. It's going to be real nice. Down in the 70s. Bad news, happy music coming up. We'll get back to Shaw in just a few minutes for that. Also going to talk racing with Doc in just a bit. We'll do that right after the Offspring.
Rock Mornings with Brian, Gene, and Shaw.
Offspring, got to get away on your Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. 8:25-ish on a Friday during the NASCAR season means one thing and one thing only. We're joined on the phone by the mid-pack legend, Billy Doc Niles, Car 54, Captain Retirement, a.k.a. hashtag Mr. Fister, a.k.a. hashtag this guy.
Happy July.
Happy 4th of July. Hashtag this guy.
I'm kind of anal.
He is kind of anal. Hashtag this guy.
He's got it locked on the rock. He's listening to the doc.
Hashtag this guy.
You're getting a thrill by listening to Bill.
Hashtag this guy.
He gets to stay on the box.
Oh, does he now?
Does he?
Hashtag this guy.
Going to have to come from the back.
That's my favorite way to do it. Hashtag this guy.
Going to be a big one for them.
Oh, big one for him. Hashtag this guy.
He could be coming from your backyard.
All this coming from all the places. Crazy. Hashtag this guy.
Whoa, what am I touching here?
Whoa, what are you touching there, Doc?
Well, I'm touching the steering wheel because as quick as I can get this route done today, my weekend starts.
Well, don't leave any, boxes on the side of the road or anything like that.
Oh, the curtain's open. Get what you get.
Be careful.
He's just going to take a really hard right with the back end open, and whatever falls out, that's what you're getting today.
There you go. I'll be back at 10 o'clock. How'd you get done so fast?
So a little bit of housekeeping. We heard earlier this week Austin Dillon's final appeal got denied, so that's all taken care of. Also, NASCAR yesterday releasing an updated schedule. They're going to be out of the country for the first time in a long time.
I think it's about like 52 or 54 years was the last time they were out of the country doing a points paying race. So that that's pretty cool. They're expanding. A lot of people thought they would go there. A lot of people thought they would go north into Canada, and who knows, maybe the next couple of years they just might. But you talked about the schedule. So next year they're going to have Easter off. They've experimented with that for the last 3 years, and it's been nothing but disaster for ratings and for crowd participation. So they're gonna give the Cup Series that weekend off. But once they give them that weekend off, they're gonna go. I believe it's like 28 weeks straight, all the way to the first week in November in Phoenix, which is something they haven't done more than 23 weeks since 1971. So this is going to be new for them to do something like that. They had the break for the for the Olympics this year, so it kind of jumbled things up. That's why Darlington this weekend is the last race for the regular season instead of being the first race for the chase, which will be next year on this same weekend. So We'll talk more about the schedule probably at the end of the year and definitely at the beginning of next year, but a lot of different tracks in different spots than what they're used to. This is the last race of the playoffs, and currently, Martin Truex Jr. is sitting pretty good at plus 58. There's only 3 spots left. 5 drivers have a shot at getting it. Gibbs is plus 39, Busch is plus 21. Then you look at Bubba Wallace at minus 21 and Chastain at minus 27. And this is another track where anything could happen, tight corners, tight straightaways. Stuff does happen on this track, and you never know what's going to happen. So when you're betting, bet careful. Be careful when you're betting on people because you never know, they might get that Darlington stripe. They are, like I said, they're at Darlington. It's a 1.36 egg-shaped oval, different degree bankings, 25 degrees in 1 and 2, 23 degrees in 3 and 4. Brad Keselowski won the race at this track earlier this year. Kyle Larson won this race last year to continue on in the playoffs. Qualifying record was set by Eric Almirola in 2014 at 184.1 miles an hour. Fantasy experts, they like Chase Elliott, Hamlin, and Larson. When I filled mine out last night, Reddick has been hot lately. Truex, for some reason, he does do good at this track, and he really needs a good showing because he's had a really bad last month and a half. Keselowski, obviously, because he ran really well in the spring. And here's a name many people are passing by, and this could be the sleeper here. This could really screw up the playoffs. Eric Jones runs really well at this track. He's won it twice in the last few years, so don't sleep on him. If you got a top 10 list, don't be afraid to put him in your top 10 list. VegasInsider.com via the BetMGM app brings us our odds this week. Larson at plus 650, Hamlin at 700, Reddick at 750, Byron, Truex, and Keselowski at 1,200, Bell at 1,400. Tonight at Red Cedar Speedway, they're going to try something new. First time they're doing this. It's the first annual Labor Day Bash. Now, the only class that isn't running tonight are the late models. So, like the modifieds, and bigger purses tonight, too. $1,000 to win for the modified. Super Stocks, $750 to win. Midwest Mods, $500 to win. Street Stocks, $400 to win. And those Red Cedar Hornets getting a big bump in pay, $200 to win. So, the first annual for that one, get out there and support that one up there in that Eau Claire area. Gates at 5 p.m., practice at 6 p.m., first green flag at 7 p.m. If you're down in the La Crosse area, season championships are at Thomas Sparta Speedway tonight, 6 divisions in action, first green flag at 7:30. Tomorrow night, La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, it's a Labor Day tradition. It's the annual Big Cheese Enduro. It's a 200-lap race for the 4- and 6-cylinder cars, and there are still time to enter this. For rules and registration forms, you can go onto the Speedway's website and find all that stuff right there at lacrossespeedway.com. Gates at 5:30. First green flag drops at 7 o'clock. And the season's winding down. We're getting to probably the best time of racing season of the year for the next month and a half. Weekend specials, and that's gonna be starting up here in just about a week or two. So, looking forward to reporting on them and maybe even hitting 1 or 2 of them. And remember, folks, wherever you're at in the country, get out and support a local short track. This race report has been brought to you by our friends at County Materials on Empire Street in Holman. That is this week's race report.
DOC joining us on the phone each and every Friday during the NASCAR season to talk Cup Series racing, and looking forward to a couple more races in the month of September before the playoffs get started and before they wind things down and get ready to go
really
for the
start
championship.
to get going for the championship. Doc, you be careful out on the road today. I know you want to get home and start your holiday weekend, but be careful out there.
Kiss your wife on the lips for me. Tell her.
Okay, all right.
Tell her it's from Brian.
All right. That's
Daughtry in a couple minutes, and Bad News Happy Music is coming up as well.
Rock Mornings, only on 95.7 The Rock.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
A Friday edition of Bad News with happy music. Loaded, I'm guessing, right?
We're doing okay.
All right, what do we got?
Well, first, just to follow up on something we discussed earlier, the rain that moved through last night. The National Weather Service has compiled the totals. Just over 2 inches was recorded at the La Crosse Airport. 3.7 inches in Winona, which led to some flash flooding. More than 4 inches in parts of Trempealeau County. And the heaviest rain fell in our area in Pickwick in Winona County. 4.6 inches of rain.
That was a lot.
Yesterday in a short amount of time.
Moly.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's a tough old bird who became friends with a fox. A grandmother survived 4 nights lost in the Alps by befriending a fox and drinking rainwater. Giuseppina Bardelli was foraging for mushrooms. She's 89 years old, by the way, when she became dizzy and tumbled some 20 feet into a gully.
She's out there by herself?
She was alone.
Huh.
Her son raised the alarm that his mother was missing.
Yeah, I
and
bet.
Summoned helicopters and drones to help with the search. It took 4 nights to find the grandmother. In the interim, she drank rainwater in puddles, slept under trees using vegetation for cover, and also reportedly became good friends with a wild fox who approached her out of curiosity. Her son said a fox approached her several times. They sort of became friends. Every evening, she recited the rosary she knew every day could be her last. She was particularly difficult to find, according to rescuers, as the vegetation she was surrounded by was so tall. But they did find her, and amazingly, she's okay. She's now recovering in a hospital, but does not appear to have suffered any lingering problems.
That's amazing.
It is 4 nights. Iowa City police called to a residence on Monday for a woman with a rifle making threats in a hallway. Officers located 42-year-old Deborah Johnson holding a .22 caliber air rifle. Witnesses say she was there to kill her mother's boyfriend. She reportedly showed signs of intoxication. Her breath alcohol level was measured at 0.25. She allegedly resisted arrest, including kicking an officer who was trying to take her into custody. She's now facing a slew of charges, including going armed with intent and public intoxication.
Ever fired your gun up in the air and gone, No, I have not ever fired my gun up in the air and gone,
I did show up at my mother's house to try and kill her boyfriend, though.
Well, this was a bad day for a pilot in North Carolina. At least one person was injured after a plane touched down on a busy interstate. The Piedmont Airport got a distress call from a single-engine airplane that was experiencing mechanical failure.
All right, so a small plane.
Small plane. Okay. He ended up putting it down on the interstate, and that was okay. The plane landed safely. But as the pilot left the vehicle, he was hit by a car that was coming down the road. The person suffered only minor injuries. That's the good news.
You don't see the plane? Was it in the middle of the night?
No, it was not in the middle of the night.
Broad daylight?
It was about 8 at night. So.
Okay, so it could have been dark.
Right. The driver of the car was unharmed. That's the good news. The FAA
thank goodness.
Describes the incident as the aircraft experienced engine issues and landed on the interstate. A passenger exited the aircraft and was struck by a vehicle.
Oof.
Bored.
After you just think you got...
Right. I just survived that landing. Oh, man, I got hit by a car. In Massachusetts, bored and looking for something to do over the summer, Danny Doherty hatched a plan to raise money for his brother's hockey team by selling homemade ice cream.
Yeah.
But a few days after setting up a stand and serving up the vanilla and shaved chocolate to some 20 people, Danny's family got a letter from the city's Board of Health ordering it to be shut down. Apparently, the town had gotten a complaint and said that the 12-year-old scheme violated the state's food code.
Yeah, we talked about this kid about 2 weeks ago, and silver lining, I guess,
yes,
right?
That's the good news in all of this. So the radio station in Boston partnered up with this kid to hold a fundraiser. They raised about $3,600. Now, this was a fundraiser for his brother's hockey team.
It sounds like the brother is disabled?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a team of people who have physical and developmental disabilities. His brother is autistic. The first day, the people found out that that's what was going on. So he didn't start charging. He just started accepting donations, and that was legal. Indeed, they ended up raising lots and lots of money, apparently about $20,000, all of which is going to go to that hockey team.
That's a great story.
In Jamaica, a teenager was decapitated by a shark after he went spearfishing alone on Jamaica's north coast. The body of 16-year-old Jamari Reed was reportedly found on the water near a large tiger shark with both his head and left arm missing. When he did not return, a search was launched and a group of divers recovered Jamari's body. The divers found the teenager's body and said they saw a big tiger shark close by.
No head, though. Didn't have a head.
The person did not have a head.
Yeah,
yes.
it was inside the...
Yeah.
They are
No
hoping
head.
to locate the
Zero
shark,
head.
kill it, and retrieve the severed head.
They're going to find the shark, and then they're going to
Probably
cut it
swim up
open
from the
and
Gulf
they're gonna
Coast. No?
get the
Just as we
head.
saw in the movie, right? Yeah.
Come on. Really?
Oh, those poor astronauts stuck in space.
It's still up
More
there.
bad news for them.
Oh, no.
Yeah. A mission to return two astronauts trapped on the International Space Station is at risk of further delay after SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets had to be grounded. The upcoming missions using the rockets, developed by Elon Musk's company, were put on hold by the U.S. after a booster crashed and exploded on Wednesday.
Yeah, let's put it on pause and make sure we figure out that. We don't want that problem as well.
Yeah, so the plan was that the
here's the
SpaceX
plan.
company would launch a rescue mission to return the astronauts who've been in space since June for what was supposed to be a week-long stay.
Okay.
Now they're saying it will be next year before they come back, but that is in question because of the incident with the SpaceX craft on Wednesday. The booster toppled over when attempting to land, so it's not clear if it will be able to make that planned trip in February and retrieve those stuck astronauts.
Man.
Well, they weren't planning on coming back until February anyway, so they got some time, right?
Right.
Figure it out.
But that may be in question as well. And we've all seen stories about stupid criminals running stop signs and getting caught with drugs. Here's a new and improved version of that. A guy in North Carolina got busted for drug trafficking after cops pulled him over because he had fallen asleep behind the wheel of his self-driving car. Somebody called the cops to report a white Tesla heading down the highway outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. They said the guy behind the wheel looked like he was asleep, and they were right. Cops caught up with him on the highway and confirmed he was sleeping. They blared their siren to get his attention, but he didn't wake up. So after about a mile, so the car's still traveling, police got in front of him to engage the autopilot sensors and make him stop. That worked. They then searched his car and found a ton of vape pens loaded with THC, ecstasy, and meth. The 25-year-old driver facing charges for drug trafficking, drug possession, and reckless driving.
What's the point of a self-driving car if you can't take
If
a
you
nap?
can't fall
though?
asleep. I don't know. It seems to me that if you're hauling illegal drugs, it's probably a good idea to stay awake behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Obey traffic laws, things
Again,
like that.
I do agree with Gene. I do agree with Gene, though. It's like,
what's the point of having a self-driving car?
Right. Well, and apparently Uber, I think, in certain states is starting to work on self-driving cars.
They are.
So you won't even.
So you call
You order an Uber and they show up and there's no one driving.
There's nobody there.
You just get in and then hope for the best.
And it takes you someplace?
I'll take a bus.
You'd rather get in a car with a stranger.
Yeah, exactly.
But I agree with Gene. What's the point of having a driverless car if you can't take a nap,
right?
Or
stretch
play
out.
Candy Crush on your phone? I mean, that's the point. I'm not trying to drive. The car is doing the work for me.
Yeah.
I spent $1 billion on this stupid thing so that it would do all that, and I could focus on other things, making TikToks or whatever.
Now, all the meth vapes is a bad. That's a bad.
That aside,
It's bad, illegal.
the
Shouldn't do
point
that.
of the
Terrible.
driverless car is so I don't have to do anything in the
Well,
car.
that's what you're saying.
Right? Shouldn't the car get the ticket for driving all
I
effed
mean,
up?
it feels like, you hire a cleaning
I
company
didn't
to
do
clean your
anything.
house, and then you got to go home and clean. What's the point, Shaw?
I knew Jean would make it about herself.
That's what
how
I'm
she
saying. You know what I mean? You hire somebody to do the thing, and then you can't do you have to do it too. Wait a minute.
Bad news, happy music on a Friday. Thank you very much, Shaw. Appreciate it. Have a great holiday weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Sounds great.
All right. Did he say he's doing steak?
No.
Chicken. Said chicken, right?
Chicken.
All right. Gonna get to our daily check-ins after the Foo Fighters. It's Best of You.
Rock mornings, Monday to Friday, 6 to 9. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us.
Check.
We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Hit up the website, rockmornings.com, for all of our contact info. Listen to the show live. Check out our daily podcast.
We got a bunch of texts today. It was a very busy Friday, which is fun.
Jeremy sent in a GIF of Arnold getting in the back of the Johnny Cab when he goes to Mars.
Because they're trapped there? Is this about the astronauts?
No, this is about the driverless
car. Okay.
Right.
Well, seriously, though, it's supposed to do it on its own. And granted, the whole drug part was bad, but...
Yeah. I hear you clucking, big chicken. Doc texted in earlier, said National Wife Appreciation Day and National Redhead Appreciation Day, a couple of days apart. I'm screwed.
Those both happened in September. We went kind of through things that you can expect this month, and they were both on the list. So prepare yourself, Doc.
Grin from Eau Claire says, enjoy the weekend. Even I got a rare 2-day one. You too. Enjoy your 2 days off.
Salute to you, Grin.
Mike texted in earlier. We had that terrible news about Matthew and Johnny Gaudreau, the NHL player who was killed when a car hit he and his brother while they were out on a bike ride last night in New Jersey. And Mike texted in saying Johnny played in Dubuque for juniors, won a championship there as well.
Terrible.
Wow, and the sister's wedding is supposed to be tonight, and the whole family's probably there, and had a wife and a couple of kids left behind.
Well,
I mean, it's just
the whole thing is
awful. Absolutely horrific.
Horrific.
Dean and Paul both texting in, wondering about whether or not Trump paid his bill from the last time he was here. As I have reiterated several times, the newsroom here has asked the police department for clarification on that, and they have not responded with the figures or information. Yep. They said they're working on it. So Dean said, thank you. I've been listening. Love listening to you guys every morning. Thank you, Dean. Someone else texted in saying, I'm not convinced Trump even knew where he was. I don't think I heard him say lacrosse once. He might not have said lacrosse, but I'm sure he knew he was in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, he did say Wisconsin a bunch. I heard it because I was listening, and he definitely had the lacrosse center looking sharp.
Kyle said, happy Friday, Brian. Did you hear me yell your name yesterday at Quick Trip?
And you did hear him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I literally had just stepped out of the truck. Just stepped out, and I was like, all right, dude. Okay. Hello, guy. Mm-hmm. I was at the regular pumps. He was at the diesel pumps with his big dump truck.
City truck? Big.
No, it wasn't city. It was just a big old, I think it was green. And yeah. You know how many times that happens to me? I just turn around. All right. Hey, dude.
It was
people honking.
Kyle. Is that what you're saying? It was Kyle?
Apparently it was Kyle. 5 minutes ago, Kyle said hi to me.
Hi, Kyle.
Rob texted in saying driving home in that storm last night was a nightmare. Wasn't able to see more than a couple of inches in front of me. Yeah, as we heard earlier, storm totals last night pretty rainy in our area.
Almost 5 inches in some places. That's a lot.
Thank you for all the correspondence. Good to hear from you guys. Talk to you on Tuesday. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend.
Every day when you log into ChumbaCasino.com, the ultimate online social casino, you get a free daily bonus. Imagine if you got daily bonuses in other parts of your life.
I chose French fries over loaded French fries.
I asked Stuart from accounting about his weekend, even though I don't care.
I updated my operating system without having to call tech support.
Collect your free daily bonus at ChumbaCasino.com now. And live the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.